My name is Joe Glassmeyer. Real name is Joseph Glassmeyer, but everybody calls me Bo, and that's B-E-A-U, Bo. We've lived on this farm since 1974, but my father had a farm up the road since 1952, and so I got involved in the farm during summers, and so then when this farm became available, I told my wife we need to move out. We were living in Cincinnati and driving out to try to do the farm, and I was managing an apartment building, and my wife would do the rental, and I was doing the painting. So we moved out here and took over farming full time. So now we raise corn and soybeans, polled Hereford cattle, and Shetland ponies.
Ah, this little box right here. She's got big boys. And zucchini? Yeah? This says zucchini.
We've got 545 total acres,
okay.
And it's about 350 that is cropland. Quite a bit of it is woods and pasture and just set aside. I guess when I was in grade school, I came out and helped bale the hay in the summer, and then as I got old enough to drive out, but we had a person that took care of milking the cows, but they always got a summer vacation, so I'd come out and take over the milking duties for 2 weeks or whatever they were gone. And so that just led into filling the silo with the feed. We chopped the corn, made our own silage, filled the silo. I'd really just sort of just following the other guys around.
Yeah.
I'd just, well, like our neighbor, Mr. Limey down here, I used to plant their corn when I was still in high school. And so, they'd say, well, we want to plant corn in this field today, and we're going to plant so many seeds per acre, and we're doing how many pounds of fertilizer. So I'd got my corn planter book out, and I could adjust it to put on whatever weight they wanted me to put on, and however many seeds, the population they wanted to achieve. This is the livestock, but you can just see where when you go out and you get underneath. Okay, yeah. I went to Xavier to be a pre-med, pre-dent, and I didn't get into dental school, so we got the farm to fall back on. One time we had a tenant farmer that would do it on shares, and then he would do the work, and I'd help him, but he'd get half of whatever we made, then we'd pay for the fertilizer and get half, and he did the labor, and he got half. And so I said, well, I might as well just do it all and assume the risk. That's all the corn planter does. It just makes a little groove like that, and it drops the seeds.
Can you see that? Yep. It's like a little spider's web in there.
Yeah. And with his water problem, some of these have died out, but he's very proud of the spacing. Like, you can tell that, that was deer or something like that one, but it's critical to get the plants the same distance apart, but he's got a few missing here. But I think this is the first one he planted, and he had to get his corn planter calibrated. Back when I was first started, you needed all kinds of equipment. I'd plow the ground, then I'd have to disc the ground twice, then I'd irrigate it to smooth it out, then I'd have to plant it. Then in those days, they didn't have as many chemicals, so I'd have to cultivate it 2 or 3 times a year. And now it's all changed that we haven't plowed in probably 15 years.
All of the dead vegetation on the ground is not how it would have looked when you were doing this.
No, it would have been buried. It would have been bare ground. Just bare ground.
Right.
Yeah. This stuff would have been 6 inches under. I went from plowing to just chisel plowing, which is like just scratching the ground up the disc, and now we're 100% no-till. So I haven't used the big tractors in several years. I have them on standby just in case we need them. But yeah, it's totally different in the last 10 years, probably. Maybe the last 5 years, even more so. Corn stalks are still here from last year.
Whose field's that? Is this one yours?
Yeah, it's our field here. Yeah, this is the back side of my son that's over there. Soybeans might be coming up. No-till is basically just what it says, no-till. We have a corn planter or a soybean planter. Like we rotate crops. Like where last year soybeans were, we have corn this year. So that after we harvested the soybeans in the fall and the ground was just smooth, and then we let a cover crop come up. And then we sprayed the cover crop in the spring to kill the cover crop, the terminations, the term they use. The zero-till, turbo-till, and we just run it over the top of the corn stalks, and it bends them over and kind of cuts them up just a little bit so that they can deteriorate. A lot of this stuff will disappear in time because the worms will come up and they munch on it. And I've seen like slow motion pictures of it. The worm comes up, his little mouth eating that stuff. yeah. And then when they go back into the ground, they leave their castings. That's sort of like the manure on the outside of their
Yeah.
bodies, and it puts fertilizer in the ground. Plus all the little wormholes, moisture can go down and get the moisture down there.
So basically, they're the ones tilling the land.
Yeah, really. That's one way of looking at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
earthworm tillage. Yeah. We got journals of planting dates and harvest dates and seeding rates and fertilizer applied, and it's probably kind of anal retentive on my part, but I could save all my journals. I could go in there and I could tell you what I did on almost every day for the last 15 years. I just write it down there when I applied fertilizer here or mowed here or fed here, or, just what I did. And then some of this family stuff too, I write in there too. But and then every day I've got a weather book, and my wife got me started on that. I guess it was 15 years ago, and like today, June 9th, I got a book, and then it's got June 9th, 5 years, and then so I'm just on my second year of this journal, but it's my third weather book, and I write down the weather, the temperature of the day, and how much precipitation we had, and it's got the high temperature and the low temperature and the average temperature, so I just keep track of all the weather information.
The adage about knee-high by 4th of July, is that?
That's our hope. That's
you
our
do
hope
follow
to
that?
have it knee-high by the 4th. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
What is it? It's June
June 9th.
9th?
June 9th, and
Well,
it's
my knees
almost
are
there.
kind of
If you
kinda
stretch
short.
that one up, you could. If you stretched it out, it would be up. Yeah, there you go. That doesn't
That might
count.
be
It's supposed to
cheating.
be the top of. Well, when we were little kids, we lived in Mount Washington at the time, and my dad and mom got a pony for me, and they got a pony for my sister. And mine was supposed to be a gelding, but it wasn't. It was a stallion, so they reproduced. And so they just, over the years, they just traded 2 ponies for a bigger pony, and the ponies just multiplied. I think this might be the mare that's really in charge. It's one of these mares that'll lead the other ones around.
This
and the stallion's the
light
boss.
one right
He
here?
tries to
Yeah.
guide them. Yeah. Come on, Mom. Little lunchtime here.
I've always looked at these ponies since I was a little girl.
Oh, really? Come on.
Yeah, because my great uncle's house is right there, so we would go there for
Oh, yeah, Doc Leo,
yeah, my uncle Doc. So we would go there for picnics and stuff, and I would always, because I've always loved horses, I would be peering out the window waiting to see the ponies in this field. More water right there.
Yeah, there's a little spring pond there, yeah.
Look at all the babies. Aww.
Yeah, the bull did his job this year.
Yeah, they're swimming right now. So loud.
Start with bare ground, or cover land with cover on it, but then we terminate that, and then start, and just as things grow, it just matures over the spring and summer and fall, and it just the change in color, the change in size, and comes up nice and green and starts to turn brown, and the leaves and the soybeans, when they begin to mature, they begin to drop, and some of them are brown and some of them are gray, and it's just it's just all about colors in the soil. And then the next time I said, well, I'll take care of this, so I lined up big round hay bales and made like a aisleway for him to go. Well, any more, I think just 2% of the population farms.
Is that yours?
Yes, yeah. This is the other half of that farm, the big 57-acre fields over there behind the barns. I just like to see things grow. It was always kind of like you're talking about artwork. It's kind of like the field's just like a blank canvas, and I go out there and we put the seeds in there and watch them grow. And I always felt like I got, 40,000 little plants coming up, and I go out and look at them, per acre. But yeah, it's just watching things grow, and as the field develops from the spring to the fall, to the summer to the fall.